Imagine a book so powerful and ancient that the world kept it hidden for over 1,000 years. This wasn't just any book. It spoke of angels who defied heaven, giants who walked the earth, and secrets of creation that challenge everything known about humanity. For centuries, this book disappeared from history, its pages buried under layers of fear and forbidden knowledge. Now, rediscovered after generations of loss, the Book of Enoch unveils its terrifying truths. The Book of Enoch was once a respected and widely read text during the early years of church history. It documented events and knowledge that predated the birth of Jesus, filled with vivid stories of fallen angels, violent giants, and apocalyptic visions. This book wasn't just a collection of myths or legends. It was considered a serious theological work, studied alongside other sacred texts. But something changed. As the centuries passed, the book began to fade from sight. By the end of the 4th century, it had vanished entirely. For over 1,000 years, the Book of Enoch remained hidden. Explorers stumbled upon an ancient manuscript, its pages worn and fragile, but the stories inside were as potent as ever. The Ethiopian Christian sect had preserved this book in their scriptures, keeping its secrets while the rest of the world had forgotten it existed. While mainstream Christianity and Judaism rejected its teachings, considering them too radical or dangerous, the Ethiopian church continued to treat it as a vital part of their religious heritage. It tells of the Watchers, a group of 200 angels sent to observe humanity. But these angels didn't just watch. They fell in love with human women and descended to earth, taking them as wives. From these forbidden unions came the Nephilim, giant beings with incredible strength and knowledge who brought chaos and violence to the world. They taught humans forbidden knowledge, how to make weapons of war, the secrets of astrology, and the dark arts. This knowledge corrupted humanity, leading to widespread violence and immorality, and ultimately a catastrophic flood meant to cleanse the earth. The Book of Enoch goes further than just recounting ancient history. It delves into the secrets of creation, offering a cosmology that differs from the traditional biblical account. Enoch is taken on journeys through the heavens, shown the workings of the universe, the paths of the stars and planets, and the laws governing nature. These revelations were considered too controversial and dangerous by early religious leaders who feared the implications of such knowledge. The book also contains apocalyptic prophecies, predicting the end of the world and the final judgment of humanity. These prophecies describe terrifying events, cosmic disturbances, and the triumph of good over evil. Despite its dramatic content, he continued to influence religious thought even after its disappearance from mainstream scriptures. It was referenced in the New Testament, in books like Jude and Hebrews, and early Christian thinkers like Clement of Alexandria and Tertullian regarded it with respect. However, the book's teachings, deemed heretical or inconsistent with the established doctrine, led to its exclusion from the official canon of the Bible as it solidified. Fear of its radical ideas led to its suppression, effectively erasing it from religious history. But the story doesn't end there. In the mid-20th century, another extraordinary discovery brought the Book of Enoch back into the spotlight. In 1947, near the Dead Sea, a young shepherd boy accidentally stumbled upon a hidden cave while searching for his lost sheep. Inside the cave, he found ancient clay jars filled with scrolls, some of which were over 2,000 years old. These scrolls, known as the Dead Sea Scrolls, contained texts that were previously thought lost to history. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. Among them was a copy of the Book of Enoch, confirming its ancient origins and reaffirming its significance. The book does more than recount ancient stories. It paints a grim vision of the future. Its pages are filled with prophecies of destruction, cosmic upheavals, and divine judgment that would make even the bravest reader shudder. Unlike other biblical texts that focus on redemption and salvation, Enoch's writings delve deep into the apocalyptic, presenting a world spiraling toward inevitable doom. At the heart of these revelations is the story of the Watchers, fallen angels who defied divine law. Sent by God to watch over humanity, these 200 angels, led by figures like Shemihaza and Asael, descended to earth, seduced by the beauty of human women. Their forbidden unions gave rise to the Nephilim, monstrous giants who brought violence and chaos wherever they roamed. These giants were not merely large in stature, they symbolized the corruption and degradation of humanity itself. As the Nephilim spread across the earth, their influence led humanity down a dark path of sin and rebellion. But the Watchers' betrayal didn't stop at forbidden relationships. The Watchers introduced humans to unsuitable knowledge, such as the art of war, astrology, weapon-making, and sorcery. This knowledge, while powerful, was also corrupting. It disrupted the natural order, leading to widespread immorality, greed, and destruction. The Book of Enoch suggests that this sudden surge in forbidden wisdom directly contributed to the moral decay of early civilizations. Faced with this growing evil, God's patience wore thin. The Book of Enoch describes how God, in his wrath, sent the archangel Uriel to warn Noah of an impending catastrophe, the Great Flood. This wasn't just a punishment for humanity's sins, it was a divine attempt to cleanse the earth of the Nephilim's influence and the Watchers' corruption. The flood, as detailed in Enoch's writings, was both a literal and symbolic reset, meant to restore balance to a world teetering on the brink of chaos. But Enoch's apocalyptic visions didn't end with the flood. He foresaw a future filled with even more terrifying events. The book speaks of a final judgment, where all souls, both human and angelic, would be held accountable for their actions. The righteous would be rewarded, while the wicked, especially the Watchers and their offspring, would face eternal punishment. This vision of judgment is stark and unforgiving, emphasizing the idea that no one, not even celestial beings, can escape divine justice. One of the most chilling aspects of the Book of Enoch is its detailed cosmology. He describes journeys through the heavens, revealing the inner workings of the universe and the laws that govern it. These journeys expose not just the beauty of creation, but also its fragility. He speaks of cosmic disturbances, the sun darkening, stars falling from the sky, and earthquakes that would shake the very foundations of the world. These aren't just random disasters. They are signs of an impending apocalypse, markers of a world unraveling as it moves closer to its final judgment. It also introduces the concept of the Messiah's 1,000-year reign, a period of peace and righteousness following the final judgment. The book's overwhelming focus on destruction and punishment overshadows this idea, which offers a glimmer of hope. Even this period of peace is temporary, as it ultimately leads to the final battle between good and evil, light and darkness. Enoch's revelations were so profound and unsettling that early religious leaders struggled to reconcile them with the teachings of the Bible. The book's vivid descriptions of fallen angels, forbidden knowledge, and apocalyptic events didn't fit neatly into the established canon. As a result, the Book of Enoch was excluded from the Bible, labeled as heretical, and hidden from the public for centuries. Yet despite its suppression, the Book of Enoch's influence persisted. It found its way into various religious traditions, including Ethiopian Christianity, where it remained a sacred text. Even in the New Testament, there are echoes of Enoch's teachings. The Epistle of Jude, for example, directly references Enoch's prophecy about the Lord coming with thousands of his holy ones to execute judgment on the wicked. As the Book of Enoch continues, it shifts from the story of the Watchers to visions of the future. These visions, known as the parables, describe the coming of the Son of Man, a powerful figure who will bring justice to the world. The Son of Man will judge the wicked, punishing those who have done evil while rewarding the righteous who have remained faithful. The visions are filled with images of cosmic battles, divine judgment, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. These stories emphasize that no one can escape judgment, and in the end, justice will prevail. Beyond these apocalyptic visions, he dives into the mysteries of the universe in a section known as the Astronomical Book. This part of the text explains how the sun, moon, stars, and seasons work. But unlike modern science, Enoch's descriptions are filled with ancient cosmology, blending observation with spiritual beliefs. He describes the movements of the heavens as part of a divine plan, showing how the universe is connected to the fate of humanity. These celestial teachings highlight the belief that everything in the cosmos, from the stars to the smallest creatures on Earth, plays a role in the greater story of creation and judgment. He then takes a symbolic turn in the Book of Dreams, where Enoch shares vivid, dreamlike visions of history. In these dreams, animals represent different nations and events. For example, sheep often symbolize the people of Israel, while wolves or lions represent their enemies. Through these symbols, Enoch tells the story of Israel's journey from the Exodus out of Egypt to the struggles of later generations, leading up to an apocalyptic future. These symbolic stories provide a unique and creative way of understanding history, blending real events with mystical imagery. The Epistle of Enoch, the book, takes on a more personal tone. He writes letters filled with ethical teachings and apocalyptic warnings. He offers guidance on how to live a righteous life, urging people to remain faithful and avoid the temptations of sin. But alongside these moral lessons are chilling predictions about the future. He describes the division of time into distinct eras, each marked by increasing corruption and violence. The world grows increasingly sinful as humanity progresses through these ages, culminating in the final days of judgment. This concludes with powerful visions of humanity's final destiny. The righteous will be rewarded with peace and eternal life, while the wicked will face punishment and destruction. This ending reinforces the book's central message that while the world may be filled with evil and chaos, justice will ultimately prevail, and the faithful will be saved. The story tells many strange and mysterious tales, but some of the most fascinating and terrifying are about the forbidden arts that angels taught humans. These weren't ordinary lessons, like how to build a house or grow food. Instead, they were secret, powerful skills that humans were never supposed to know. When people learned these forbidden arts, it led to chaos, destruction, and a world filled with violence and sin. It all started with a group of angels called the Watchers. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. These angels were supposed to watch over the earth and protect humanity, but instead they broke the rules. They came down from heaven, fascinated by human life, and decided to live among people. The leader of these angels was named Semjaza, and under his command, the Watchers shared dangerous knowledge with humans, things that were never meant to be known. Semjaza, the chief of the Watchers, taught humans the art of enchantments and spells. Before this, people didn't have the ability to use magic or cast spells, but Semjaza showed them how to use words and symbols to try and control the world around them. These weren't harmless magic tricks. They were powerful rituals that could influence nature, spirits, and even other people. With these spells, some tried to gain power over others, causing fear and mistrust to spread. What was once a peaceful world started to change. People began using magic to harm each other, to trick and deceive, and to seek control in ways that were unnatural. Another angel, named Azazel, taught even more dangerous skills. He showed people how to make weapons, sharp swords, deadly knives, and strong shields. Before this, people might have fought with sticks and stones, but Azazel's lessons turned simple tools into machines of war. These new weapons made battles bloodier and more violent. But Azazel didn't stop there. He also taught humans how to make mirrors and cosmetics. While that might not sound dangerous at first, it changed the way people saw themselves. Mirrors allowed people to focus on their looks in ways they never had before, and cosmetics introduced the idea of altering appearances to seem more attractive. This led to vanity, jealousy, and even deceit, as people began to hide their true selves behind painted faces. Other watchers shared knowledge that seemed helpful but had dark consequences. Some taught astrology, the study of the stars and planets. But this wasn't just about understanding the night sky. These angels showed humans how to read celestial signs, to predict the future and control their fates. Instead of trusting in the natural order of life, people began to believe they could manipulate destiny by reading the stars. They stopped relying on wisdom and hard work, thinking they could cheat fate through astrology. Another forbidden art was the mystical use of botany. The Watchers taught humans how to use plants, not just for food or medicine, but for magical purposes. People learned how to create potions and elixirs, using herbs in rituals to gain power or influence others. While some of these plant-based practices might have been harmless, many were used for harmful magic, curses, and dangerous experiments that led to even more corruption. As these forbidden arts spread across the world, the balance between good and evil began to tilt. People who once lived in harmony started using these new skills for selfish and destructive purposes. Communities broke apart, wars became more frequent and deadly, and trust between people disappeared. The world became a darker, more dangerous place, filled with fear, greed, and violence. The book describes how God saw what was happening and was filled with anger. The angels had not only disobeyed him, but they had also led humanity down a path of destruction. The peaceful world he had created was now corrupted by forbidden knowledge and sinful behavior. To stop this chaos, God decided to punish both the angels and the humans who followed their teachings. The Watchers were imprisoned deep within the earth, trapped in darkness, until the day of final judgment. Their children, the Nephilim, were wiped out in a great flood, a story that connects to the famous tale of Noah's Ark. The humans who had embraced the forbidden arts faced their own punishments as the flood cleansed the earth of much of the corruption. But even after the flood, the knowledge of these forbidden arts didn't completely disappear. Some of the skills, like making weapons or reading the stars, continued to influence human history. The lessons taught by the Watchers had left a mark that couldn't be entirely erased. People continued to seek power and control, often using knowledge in ways that caused harm rather than good. The Book of Enoch is one of the most mysterious and provocative texts ever written. Hidden from the world for over 1,000 years, it tells stories of fallen angels, forbidden knowledge, and apocalyptic visions that shake the very foundation of what we think we know about history and humanity. Rediscovered in 1773 in Ethiopia and later among the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947, this ancient manuscript has captivated scholars, theologians, and curious readers alike. What makes it so compelling isn't just its age or the secrets it holds, but the lessons it offers about the dangers of seeking knowledge without wisdom, the consequences of defying natural laws, and the constant struggle between good and evil. As we delve into its pages, we are confronted with a story that reflects our own journey as a species, a journey filled with curiosity, ambition, and the peril of overstepping boundaries. At the heart of this is the story of the Watchers, a group of 200 angels sent by God to watch over humanity. But instead of simply observing, these angels became fascinated by the lives of humans. Led by their chief, Semjaza, they descended to earth, broke divine laws, and took human women as their wives. This forbidden union led to the birth of the Nephilim, giants with immense strength and knowledge who wreaked havoc on the world. But the Watchers didn't stop at creating giants. They shared forbidden knowledge with humans, skills and secrets that were never meant to be known. Semjaza taught people how to perform spells and enchantments, unlocking magical powers that could manipulate nature and even control other people. Another angel, Azazel, introduced humans to weapons of war, turning simple tools into deadly instruments. He also taught people to make mirrors and cosmetics, leading to vanity, deception, and the corruption of natural beauty. Other angels taught astrology, helping humans read the stars and attempt to control their destinies, while some introduced the mystical use of plants for magical rituals. While some of this knowledge seemed beneficial at first, it quickly led to chaos and destruction. People began to fight, deceive, and harm each other, using their newfound powers for selfish and violent purposes. What was once a peaceful world became a place filled with fear, greed, and corruption. God became enraged by the Watcher's actions as he witnessed the world descend into chaos. As punishment, the fallen angels were imprisoned deep beneath the earth, where they would remain until the final judgment. Their children, the Nephilim, were destroyed by a great flood, a story that connects directly to the biblical tale of Noah's Ark. But even after the flood, the knowledge the Watchers had shared lingered, leaving a lasting mark on humanity. If you're enjoying this journey, consider supporting this content by giving a super thanks. By contributing, you'll be helping us make more content like this. Beyond the story of the Watchers, he presents chilling visions of the future. In the Book of Parables, Enoch describes the coming of the Son of Man, a messianic figure who will judge the earth. The righteous will be rewarded, while the wicked, including the fallen angels and their descendants, will face eternal punishment. These visions are filled with vivid imagery: stars falling from the sky, earthquakes shaking the world, and cosmic battles between the forces of good and evil. Enoch also explores the mysteries of the universe in the astronomical book. He describes the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, blending ancient cosmology with spiritual beliefs. This section emphasizes that everything in the cosmos is connected to the divine plan and that the universe itself plays a role in humanity's ultimate fate. In the Book of Dreams, Enoch shares symbolic visions of history, using animals to represent nations and historical events. These dreams trace the journey of Israel from the Exodus out of Egypt to an apocalyptic future where the final battle between good and evil will unfold. In the Epistle of Enoch, he offers ethical teachings and warnings about the future. He describes the division of time into different eras, each marked by increasing corruption and violence, leading up to the final days of judgment. The answer lies in its controversial content. The book's stories of fallen angels, forbidden knowledge, and apocalyptic judgment didn't fit neatly into the doctrines that early religious leaders wanted to promote. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. When people seek power for selfish reasons or try to control things they shouldn't, it can lead to destruction. The Watchers may have intended to enlighten humanity, but instead they unleashed forces that humanity was not prepared to handle. The story serves as a warning that even the most well-meaning knowledge can become a tool for evil when used irresponsibly. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.